Chicago Auto Show. I'm Mike Caudill, leading you guys through the show here at McCormick Place. Before we get into just the general specifics, where we're at, let's just kind of summarize what we've done so far today. So we kicked off the morning in the Subaru booth with two big debuts, right? The Wilderness as it applies to the Forester, and then the hybrid version as well. So we think about Subaru as a whole, we're looking at sales nearly up 4.1% year over year, 30 consecutive months of sales. And now we've made our way over to General Motors. We're going to go down the line. We're in the Cadillac booth right now. We started at Subaru. We made our way over to Jeep with the new Limited S, which is their electric version, kind of like a Grand Cherokee in stature. All Jeep branding on it as well. Beautiful vehicle. So now we've made our way over to Cadillac. Cadillac making a lot of waves. Another great sales year for them in 2024. And a lot of new vehicles coming online. If there's one automaker in the industry right now that has really started hedging their bets on the EV market as a whole, it would be Cadillac. Over my shoulder to the right, you've got the all-new OPTIQ. Consumers can get their hands on one here shortly. You can get your order in. And then over my shoulder here, you've got the VISTIQ, which is, let's just say, in the same mid-size category as something like an Aviator. But this one's all electric as well. And I'll just say right off the top, the design is stunning. And then you have the Lyriq down on the very end here, this blue Lyriq. I've test driven this car. It is one of the best, and I've said this before, if you've watched any of my personal videos on this, this is one of the best electric vehicles you can buy in the market. Perfect size, great color scheme on this one, but what I love the most is the technology. So I'm going to actually bring in a product specialist, product marketing specialist with Cadillac, Donnelly Baxter. You know, you and I were just talking kind of off camera a minute ago. The brand is just, it's evolving, and we know Cadillac is an iconic American brand. It is a luxury brand, but the vehicles that you're bringing to market now are just setting, you know, an all new direction for not only the brand, but for the consumer in the market. OPTIQ, VISTIQ, Lyriq, you know, we've got the new IQ over the shoulder. Like, there's just all this stuff happening. What's going on with the brand right now?
Yeah, well, there's tremendous excitement and buzz. As you can see, an all-new EV portfolio. We still have our iconic Escalade over there. The brand is just doing incredibly well right now. We're really going back to our standard of the world tagline that we previously had. And our sales were up 9% total last year, 11.5% at retail. So that's customers using their hard-earned dollars and choosing a Cadillac as their vehicle. Our EV portfolio is really helping us break into the California market. Sales up 23% in California, and that was really on the back of Lyriq and Escalade IQ just starting sales towards the end of last year. Now we've really started selling Escalade IQ. We've got great momentum out the gate. Customers are loving it. We've got tremendous feedback. It's the longest range EV on the market. Following that, we have our VISTIQ, which is kind of like a baby Escalade. 3 rows of luxury, tremendous bold style. That one will be available soon. The OPTIQ that you pointed to actually is available now in dealerships. It just started landing in January. So really excited to have our full portfolio of EV SUVs available.
And there's, you know, obviously with a new administration in place right now, there's a lot of talk about Americana, build it in America. You guys are already doing that. I mean, down in Spring Hill, Tennessee, you know, the Lyriq is coming out of there. I believe the VISTIQ is also coming out of the Spring Hill facility. You've also gone through some marketing changes as well. It's no longer called Ultium. You're just calling them General Motors batteries. Let's talk about that.
Well, we just changed our focus, and it's our battery platform, our battery system. That's what we're leading with. So the General Motors battery platform.
What do you think it is consumers love the most about the brand?
I think first and foremost is style. You can't talk Cadillac without talking style. That's one of the biggest reasons for purchase. And then just craftsmanship, the attention to detail, the qualities of the material, and really pushing boundaries in terms of technology. All of our EVs either have a curved 33-inch display. We've got a 55-inch pillar-to-pillar display on the Escalade IQ and the new 2025 Escalade ICE. So it's really just everything coming in to make a tremendous package for the customers.
All right, well, thank you so much for sharing with us a little bit about the brand. Hey, I'm going to have a little bit of fun. You guys know, as an auto expert, I love getting my hands dirty and getting in vehicles. Get the suit off. Let's get in the vehicles. Come on over. I want to bring you guys in a little bit closer. You know, what we're doing is we're talking about the cars, and we're showing them to you from a distance, but I'm going to get in and just do a little bit of a walk around, right? So as we look at this Cadillac, you know, we're talking LED lights up on front. You know, you've got all of the sensors in here for adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning. You know, the things that consumers are really wanting from the standpoint of modern technology. And you kind of make your way around the side, you know, you've got your EV port right here. You know, you're going to be looking at about 300 miles of range with this vehicle, 500 foot-pounds of torque. This one's the sport version. They're calling it the 500 E4. And then as you come down, you know, of course we're talking beautiful colors, but on the inside we're talking about recycled products, beautiful leathers, the things that Cadillac owners want in a vehicle. You're going to get ULED screen up on front, right? We think about all of the things that, when we talk about General Motors as a whole, OnStar in the market, right? Just a leader in that category. And then when we think about cruise, right, we think about Super Cruise. Taking your hands off the gas pedal and the brakes and letting the car do what it can do. I can tell you guys right now, I've tested every autonomous driving feature from an automaker in the market. And I can tell you right now that the Super Cruise feature is still the best in the market. I think I went 32 miles while eating a sandwich, and it works. And I think that's what makes it unique. Now, I'm going to bring you back in. Let's talk a little bit more about this SUV over here for a second. You know, all of these vehicles have one thing in common, right? The same platform design. So when you think about the wheelbase, you're going to be using that same wheelbase. From a pricing standpoint, you're going to be looking at the mid-50s over there for the OPTIQ. Then you're going to jump into that 70s category here on the middle when we talk about the VISTIQ as well. And then you're in that 60s category with the Lyriq. I want to spend a little bit of time here. We're going to close on this SUV in a minute. So I've driven this. I've done videos on it. And I think what is like a resounding theme for me is that you can talk about electrification. That's part of the story, but the bigger story is it is all-American luxury. And General Motors as a whole, when you think of Cadillac, is working to really make sure that the consumer in the marketplace knows what that means. Every time you get into a Cadillac, you're going to feel it. So when you look at this on the outside, it's got a beautiful design, same LED features up on front, massive wheels on the side. And then as you peek on the inside of this vehicle, it's just got a total luxurious layout. As we get ready to move over to the final VISTIQ from an SUV standpoint, from an overall engineering and design standpoint, right, we talk about the A pillar up front, the B pillar, this is the C pillar. I love how it rakes down with this air diffuser here on the back. We think about aerodynamics and geometry of these vehicles. You know, it really helps keep the aerodynamics when you think about range in mind when you're buying a vehicle like, you know, this one right here. LED lights mounted up on the quarter panel, just give it a special look. And then on the back, you know, you've got really beautiful design as well. I think what they're doing at Cadillac right now is really setting them apart. And you're going to get that with this Lyriq right here. All right, so we're going to close it out with the SUV, the VISTIQ. This is the 2026 version over here. Let me just start with this. It's absolutely stunning, right? A three-row SUV in that midsize SUV category with the same DNA of the other two vehicles, but think a smaller version of an Escalade, right? That's what you're going to get with the VISTIQ right here. And if you look at the design, right, you go OPTIQ and you go Lyriq. Very similar in design. This makes me think of Escalade. I'm going to bring you back in for a second because he's chomping at the bit. He's following me. He's like, what's he saying about our cars? All right, let's talk about this because when I walked into the booth, I was talking with one of your PR reps, man, this thing is stunning.
What more can you say? What can you say? It's drop dead gorgeous. And to your point, if you compare it to the Escalade, it's got that same family DNA. It's got that same bold look, bold proportions. Our illuminated grille that you see across our EV portfolio, it just stands out, and that's one of the key things that pulls customers into the brand.
What I love the most about this vehicle right here is that you look at an Escalade, right? You could be well over six figures. You look at a Range Rover, you look at some of the vehicles in the competitive segment, you're going to be pushing a higher price. But to introduce this into the market, you're now getting into a slightly different, you know, price category that's going to make it more affordable. So you're in that 70,000 range, correct?
Yep, this one starts at around 77. The way it sits, you're right around 80,000, and standard you've got a 23-speaker AKG Dolby Atmos sound system. The front seats are heated, ventilated, and massaging. Second row heated seats, great for the Chicago winter. So anything you can think of that's typically an extra for other vehicles, we've packaged as standard in the VISTIQ.
And from a manufacturing standpoint, where is this manufactured?
This one comes out of the same plant as our Lyriq in Spring Hill.
And that means they qualify for the $7,500 tax credit. So if you're a consumer at home and you're watching this right now, this actually qualifies to bring your price down even further. So if you look at it, you go, you're at $75,000, go ahead and remove that $7,500 off there as a tax credit. Now you're looking at a vehicle that's in the 60s.
Yep, it's a great price point, a great value, and just a tremendous vehicle for the dollar.
All right, guys, a lot of fun here. in the Cadillac booth at the Chicago Auto Show. We've got a lot more cars to feature today here at McCormick Place. You guys stay tuned. We're going to be coming back with you shortly. I think it might have something to do with BMW.